Do you like scary movies? What about true crime? Are you into anything spooky? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Creep It 100.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Creep It 100 podcast. I am your host, Kinson.
And I am Mark.
And if you're wondering why we're laughing, it's because we've said that 3 times in the past hour. Because this episode is a nightmare. And the first time we recorded, we messed up the intro so bad that we had to completely scrap it and restart. And the second time we recorded, the mics weren't recording, and the master camera right there was not recording. Only that one. And you do that one. And that one was recording. Today we're back on track. Thankfully though, we only got.
I don't think we were ever on track.
Thankfully though, we only got like 20 minutes into the episode before we noticed all this. So, still a lot of genuine stuff we can do. However, I will say, got a lot of first-time reactions for the case I'm about to go over for. So, I am just going to storyboard this for us. We're not going to go faster. We're not going to cut anything out, but I'm just going to tell you this story. And so if you don't see any crazy reactions for the first few minutes, that is why, guys. But I guess I should tell you, today we are talking about the case of Elisa Lam. This is the disappearance of a student in 2013. And I said this episode, last take, I'm not going to ask Mark if he knows anything about this because I know he already does. He actually, tell them what you did that has to do with this.
A few years ago, I had done a live multimedia horror show in front of a sold-out audience, and we covered this case as one of our topics. So I'm very, very familiar with it.
So he already had to do a lot of this research. It's just been, like he said, a few years. This is a case that I wanted to cover, and it's one I wanted to cover last season, but to be very, very honest with you, I wanted to wait until we had more people to talk to about this because I think it's I just think it's a very, very cool case. And I did a lot of digging on this, and eventually I will talk about what I think is my best theory and what I now believe after now seeing a lot of evidence and a lot of different things about this. So as far as this case goes, this is, like I said, this is about the disappearance of Elisa Lam. She was a 21-year-old student from British Columbia, and she was taking a vacation up the coast.
Oh, you going up the coast there?
I got Canadian. I got Canadian.
I don't know
right
why
there.
my accent was like fucking
Yeah,
like
what
Liverpoolian.
is that?
I actually don't know what that was. I meant that to be
This man was from Wales.
completely different. I don't know why. I have no idea. I've been watching Harry Potter.
That accent took you.
That took something. Yeah, I didn't plan that.
Yeah, you didn't do that accent.
Something took over.
That accent did you.
Barty Crouch Jr. came out of me.
Oh, bro, tell me. It does sound like him a lot.
Barty Crouch Jr.
Oh my god.
Hello, father.
Who the fuck?
You are no son of mine.
Who's the one that said that? It was the fucking the Siberian dude, right?
Huh?
That yelled Barty Crouch Jr.
Oh, you're talking about yeah. I don't remember. I haven't seen
It was during the trial.
That's in the 5th movie then.
Yes. No, that's Goblet of Fire.
There's a trial in Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, they go back in time because that's where Mad Eye is like not Mad Eye.
I'll find out soon. I'm rewatching them all right now.
I'm right.
I am. You just rewatched them.
Yes.
I haven't seen
That's
them
why I know I'm
in a few years. I'm currently on Prisoner of Azkaban, so I'm like one away from that movie.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, do you know any other known Death Eaters? And he's like, Snape, and then he's like, shut the fuck. And Dumbledore's like, shut the fuck up, bro. He's fine. And he goes, I know one more. Because he's talking to his dad, Barty Crouch's dad, senior. Yeah. So Elisa Lam,
It's now a Harry Potter podcast.
Dude, oh, I'd go crazy on that. We'd
What's
have a
your
max.
favorite unforgivable curse?
That's our segment in there. We'd have.
Mine's a Vada Kedavra. I mean, it's straight to the point, and you kind of get you get your results fast.
Yeah, you get a good bang for your buck.
Yeah, you get good bang for the buck there.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Okay, well, imagine we do.
Oh, by the way, our producer's an audience today.
Yes, he is. Woo.
What's your favorite unforgivable curse?
Avada.
I think I'm gonna change mine to Crucio because it's just like terrible.
It is the most fucked up
It's like
one.
the most fucked up one.
100%.
In a few days, you will catch me Crucioing so many house elves.
Oh, bro.
When Harry Potter Legacy or Hogwarts Legacy comes out, I'm going
Yeah.
to be worse than Voldemort.
Oh my god, guys, we both bought the new Xbox and Hogwarts Legacy, so thank you for your donations. And no, I'm kidding. Totally kidding. About the donation part, we did buy 2 new Xboxes.
Yeah, the new Xboxes are real. That money is going towards.
Yeah, that's why I can see you right there and right there.
You can hear us.
Oh, and you can hear us crispy.
Do you like ASMR?
Turn it to an ASMR podcast. Crack it 100. Just
Write that down. Write that down.
yeah. Fuck this episode. We're gonna do that instead. Yeah, tap it a few times. Give that a. That's nice. Does ASMR work on you? For real?
It
Do you
used
get like
to.
the tingly shit?
It used to.
I've never in my life gotten that.
Back when I was in high school, it used to, but it was rare when it would happen, but it did happen on occasion.
Mm.
I have to find like the right
Sound
to trigger the tingles.
Yeah, because we have a friend, Anthony, who he says that shit goes crazy. Like
When-
he gets it like everything.
When
Every
it
noise.
works, it does feel incredible.
I've never had it work.
I haven't had it work in a very long time, and I'm really disappointed because it's a high I've been chasing since.
I feel like you might have to be like in the right mindset for it to work because I have not. I've never like sat down and been like, okay, I'm gonna make it work.
I bet Anthony's already snoozing
Snoozing.
because of this episode,
Oh, true. And he's out.
and he
Just like that. Just like that.
rob him. Let's use ASMR to put him to sleep and absolutely rob him blind.
just jump him after we put him to sleep. I can't wait for him to never text us about this because he doesn't listen to our podcast. I'm gonna get a text about that right there because I think he actually does. I'm gonna get a text about that and be like, "I listen, you dick." All right, guys. Let's get back on track a little bit, but like I said, we were going over
Crucio.
Yeah, Crucio. So Crucio was
Oh.
invented in, but what?
Let's Imperio Chorsi.
Let's move on because we're gonna get our show taken away. See, usually he's just like we expect text from this about like things we say about Chorzy in like 2 weeks when he edits the video, but now he's right there. So we're
under close supervision today.
yeah, he's looking, he's eyeing us for that one. So let's get back on track. He just texted us. It says, "Do your fucking job." Nice.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, right there.
I don't.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Kyle texted me. I don't see a text from Chorsi.
Oh, then I guess we can not do it. We just keep fucking around. There's gonna be a lot of that next episode. Make sure you go to our Discord.
It's a
Subscribe.
Discord exclusive.
Yep. Nice little plug, yeah. Middle of the episode plug, and then you'll hear more about it at the end. Other than Harry Potter, we are also talking about Elisa Lam. Elisa Lam, like I said, is a 21-year-old student. She was on vacation up the California coast and was stopping along all the major points and all of the major cities. She gets to LA at around she gets there on January 26th. On January 28th, she checks into the Cecil Hotel. And just to preface a little bit about this hotel before we go into Elisa Lam, it has quite the history. So the Cecil Hotel, which was built in 1924, was originally set to be a very prestigious and a very rich-centric hotel. Like, it was meant to attract the rich audience and have a lot of people of a higher class be there and rent there. It was designed with a lot of super, super intense architecture and was supposed to be beautiful. But like I said, it was built in 1924, so immediately after the Great Depression hit, nobody was staying there. Nobody had hotel money during the Great Depression. And then alongside that, everybody decided when they were homeless and everything like that to kind of center around this hotel. And then that became almost the dead center of Skid Row. As far as inside of the hotel, Elisa Lam was definitely not anywhere close to the first, and she was actually not the last to have something happen to her there. There are 16 known people to have died on the premises, whether that be from accidental drowning, such as accidental drowning, as well as there's been murders there, there's been suicides there, there's been a lot of different bad things associated with the hotel. People have flung themselves out of the windows of this hotel into the street. In one case, somebody jumped out of a window and landed on somebody, and they both died. You know what? That one was so long ago that I'm fine with that joke.
Saw the opportunity.
We needed to put it on. We needed to put one in. Last take of this episode, Mark did a perfect Roblox impression, and he was pissed when we weren't recording because it meant that we didn't have, we couldn't use that. But you know what? He snuck it back in.
And it just came back.
I'm glad that he did. As well as all these people being injured or killed on the premises, this was also the home of Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, during one of his murder sprees. He stayed at this hotel. I believe it was 1984 to 1985 is the year that he stayed there during an active spree.
I think that tracks.
Sorry, I was laughing. Our producer was looking at us over top of the laptop. He was right here, and he was like, It just went back down and made me laugh. The hotel, up until about 5-ish years ago, was still in operation under a new name called the Stay on Main. After they didn't rebrand for anything else, but when Elisa Lam happened and the worldwide coverage that had, and a lot of China coverage, a ton of it.
China?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
So because in 2013, YouTube was what it is here in China already, popularity-wise. So the clip of her in the elevator got 3 million views in 10 days on, Chinese YouTube, basically.
Okay, right on.
And so it, blew up over there, and then a lot of scrutiny came from this case. So they completely rebranded, opened up as the Stay on Main. This was also the inspiration for the hotel in the American Horror Story series Hotel. And it is also supposedly where the Black Dahlia had her last drink. Her body was found, I think, a block and a half away from the Cecil Hotel.
Like I said last time I recorded this episode, there are far too many coincidences, and it's like the well house from It.
Literally, it's the center of everything bad happening.
Yeah.
And it literally is the center of Skid Row, just being horrible.
It's fucked up.
Yeah. A little bit about Elisa. She's checked into the hotel on the 28th, and Elisa was a very... boring is not the word, but
Ordinary.
Normal. Routined. Nothing crazy out of the ordinary.
Normal SpongeBob.
Exactly. Round.
Oh, I'm round.
When he was like that.
That freaked me the fuck out, bro. When SpongeBob was normal, that shit was fucking... shit turned my world upside down.
Wasn't that the one where he was like, "Hi, how are you?"
Yep. Hi, how are you?
That shit.
I'm round. What else does he fucking say? I can't remember, but that shit really did turn my world upside down. That shit fucked me up.
Our producer's crying.
That's not SpongeBob. please bring it back.
Oh, dude, tuning in the middle of that episode's jarring. Just not expecting it.
You know what the most jarring thing about SpongeBob is?
What?
Those really gross fucking clips that they throw in there, where it's a super detailed
ew, bro. That's the reason I don't fuck with Flapjack. And
Flapjack does that shit too.
They do it in they thought it was so funny on SpongeBob that they started doing it as a main funny point in other cartoons, and that's the reason I don't like it, because those are so fucking gross. I hate that shit.
Yeah, when it zooms in, it's the
It's
grossest
just the most
detailed.
Yeah, it's just a microscopic view of something, and it's just a tardigrade. It's just going by, floating in a cell.
It's gross.
Yeah, it's just just hair and boils. is all that's in those fucking shots. It's nasty as shit.
Fungi growing out of.
Yeah.
Look like The Last of Us in that
It
beach.
does look like The Last of Us.
I finished episode 2.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Finish episode 3.
I'm not even gonna lie. The scene in the library-ish area with the clickers
Oh my
was
god.
so scary.
Dude, I was holding my breath.
It's been a long time since I've seen something that made me like actually freak out like that.
Mhm.
Like good on them.
Yeah, it's so good. If you haven't got on Last of Us, guys,
Get on it.
first of all, you're going to be 5 weeks late by the time this comes out. The
whole series should be out. Like the whole season 1.
Most of it. And you know
How many
what?
episodes are in season 1?
We're probably going to do like 9, 10. No, they're like an hour, so maybe like 7.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm in it for.
I'm in it for the long haul, though. You need to watch episode 3, bro.
I've been told.
I know.
I had to
By
watch
me.
episode 2 first.
Watch 3. Watch 3 too.
Maybe tonight.
Okay. After no.
No, not tonight.
Don't. Elisa Lam, other than being like pretty ordinary and not a ton going on, she actually ran a pretty successful blog, which ended up being somewhat crucial in the investigation. Helped the police track her movements the day of, because she posted so much that they could literally get a play-by-play of her entire day. And then we spoke about this a little bit, but she also has posts that went out after her disappearance because she was using a queue system that Tumblr used to have, which is where you could pre-publish posts and then set the date and time that you want them to go out on. So she had like 10 of them go out over like the few weeks after her disappearance.
Could you imagine how eerie that shit was?
Yeah, especially being like the parents
Yeah, or just like,
or being anyone that follows her
yeah.
and know that she, like, if you happen to see that news clip about her and knew that she was the person running that blog, and then all of a sudden you get a notification, I'd freak out. I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Because I promise you it'd be something hella normal. Because it was like a fashion blog.
Yeah.
It'd be like, look at these new pants. And she's just been missing for a week. I'd be scared, bro, if that was me. I'd be calling the police immediately. So January 28th, she checks into the Cecil Hotel. She originally was checked into a hostel room, which was shared by 3 other girls. After 2 days, she was moved. This is on the 30th. She was moved to a private room because of a bunch of complaints from the roommate. Or from all the roommates. She would do things like lock them out of the room and not let them back in until they gave her the password. She would leave notes on their pillows saying, like, go home and go away and shit like that.
She's trying to be Annabelle so bad.
Dead ass, bro. She really is leaving, like, notes and shit. And on the 31st, she was scheduled to check out. The 31st is actually the first day that she did not call her parents on this entire trip. She called them every single day except for the 31st, which is what prompted them to know something was wrong immediately. They called the police, which started a missing persons report, and I think only a few days after that, they flew to LA to assist with the investigation. She is very popularly known to have had last words, and the last person to actually see her alive was this bookshop manager. It said that she was being perfectly normal and she was shopping for gifts for her family. And
How are you?
exactly. Explicitly saying that she was asking super normal questions like, hey, I want an interesting book, but it can't be too heavy because I still have a little bit of travel to go and I don't want to be lugging it around. That's what she asked her. I found out that that's actually not the last person that she had contact with that day. She was found in a room that was employees only in the Cecil Hotel and was asked to leave by a few employees. And then she walked over to the elevators, which is where we see her for the last time on the CCTV footage of this elevator. If you know anything about the Elisa Lam case, or if you didn't think you do, this is where you might be like, oh, I do know what you're talking about. Because this elevator footage is some of the most famous content from almost any true crime case. It's one of the first times that true crime got like digitized for everybody. Which is why a lot of people took to this video so fast, is because for the first time with video sharing websites like YouTube and things like that, they could be a part of this investigation. And it was the first time that the internet banded together and started becoming like internet sleuths, basically.
We saw how that worked out. This
A lot of different people.
This last few months, referring to the Idaho case when people on the internet tried to like accuse other people of and people's like lives got ruined and shit.
Yes, that was very, very
Rough.
bad. There's definitely a difference between
Don't do that, people.
Deadass.
It's not simple. Like, wait, let the police do their fucking job.
Yes.
I promise they have more experience than you.
Yeah, if anything, call in tips to them.
Yeah.
Do not post tips for other people. Call in tips to them. If you think you figured some shit out, contact the police.
Publicly accuse
Don't do
someone
that.
of being a murderer, and
there was like 4 people that got their lives completely ruined and like were labeled basically as murderers until
they
actual
fucking
person
found Brian Kohnberg or whatever his name is.
Yeah, and then all those people got real quiet after accusing.
If one of you's watching this, don't do that again.
Anyway, this. Yeah, it's only actually ended good a few times when
it's very rare that it does end up accurate.
Yeah, you know what?
Or even
a good case of it was that dude in the Netflix documentary "Don't Fuck with Cats." Did you ever watch that? It was about the dude that feeding cats to snakes and uploading videos of it, and then he uploaded like a video of him killing someone, and people went so in depth into the video they saw like that the socket was. The wall outlet was different and had different holes, so they figured out what country he was in, and like then they did the blanket and figured out it was only sold in this specific shop in this specific town, and they found this dude who had been like murdering people. He was an active murderer on the run, and people online started an investigation group and caught him.
Bro, I've never heard of that.
It is such a good documentary. It's one of the few true crime documentaries that I actually
You said
really
he
enjoy.
fed cats to snakes.
That's
big snakes.
Yes. He had like an anaconda in his room, and then he would have like a half dead cat, and then he would like just put it on camera and feed it to the snake. It was fucking horrible, the videos, and then he would upload them to like YouTube and Reddit and like places like that before it would get shut down.
Jesus, and then he killed someone on camera.
Yeah, he killed a few people. Luca Mignata was his name. Was the
where was he from?
Some like Russian Siberia-y type country, something where it's very gray and cold.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Speaking of, did you hear the rumors that Putin's dead?
No, I did not.
It's like such a weird. We'll talk about that.
We'll get into it. After she gets to this elevator, I am going to do a quick run through of what happens. This is a still from the elevator right here. Bang. Okay. Go to a video on YouTube that has that same thumbnail, and you'll find it. It's the only reason I'm not showing it is because for our audio listeners, there's no audio, so you will have 3 minutes of dead time in the middle of this episode. So we're not going to do that. However, if you are curious about this, I strongly encourage you to watch the video. It is very, very mysterious. It's strange.
I remember seeing it when it came out actually, and I was just freaked
in 2013
fuck out. Yeah, I remember thinking to myself, a demon's chasing her.
I saw it for the first time in a what was it? It was like a top 5 CCTV footage that's still unsolved or something like that.
I don't know if it was 2013. It was maybe in 2014. It was definitely early high school for me.
Yeah. So what happens is Elisa Lam walks into this elevator. She immediately presses 4 or 5 of the buttons in a line straight down. She stands in the back right corner. The elevator doors don't close. So she walks up to the doors, and then she quickly looks out and jolts her head back and forth as if she's making sure there's nothing on either side. Then she stands back in the elevator and then cowers like in the corner and is actively like hiding. She's putting her arms up against her chest, hiding from something. She then walks into the hallway, turns around, walks back in, and the face she's making is if she's about to start crying. She then goes over to the panel again, hits almost every single button on the elevator, and then walks out again. We see her. We have a very limited view outside of the elevator, but we see her in the corner. She starts making very weird hand movements, and she's like gesturing as if she's like, it almost looks like she's like petting something, like going like that. And then it appears as if she's talking to somebody down the hallway. is what it looks like. She's definitely talking, but she's kind of looking in all different directions, but it's generally down the hallway. She then just turns and walks away, and for the first time in the 3.5 minutes, the elevator door closes. Then it proceeds to start going to the different rooms. It's been cut off. There's a lot of speculation that that elevator footage is tampered with and that they did not release the full thing.
Really?
A lot of people think that there is a few minutes that are cut out of it. And there's a lot of people who think that it's like sped up, slowed down, like things are different in it.
Just altered?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
The timestamp is like very weird in it. It's like blurred out. So they've done some editing to the video.
Weird.
It, like, you know, people are just like, well, if they did that, why wouldn't they do something else? All of this on the 31st. Eventually, this is when she disappears. No one has seen her since. We are now fast forwarding to February 18th. When guests at the hotel start complaining about low water pressure. Other guests start to complain about that the water is coming out of their faucets black. And then the worst of all is that guests were complaining about the water having a bad taste out of their faucets.
That's the worst part right there.
That is the worst part. So a hotel maintenance worker goes up to the 4 water tanks that supply water to all the rooms. They then he gets into one of the water tanks that he notices had the lid off and finds Elisa Lam's body floating in the water tank, and next to her is all of the clothes that she is wearing in this elevator footage. The coroner's report lists her body as a accidental drowning, and the only other thing that is listed is that she has bipolar disorder, but it is under the category that is in the report listed as existing condition, but not or extremely lightly related to cause of death. So they don't think it had anything to do with that. Another thing a lot of people harp on in this case, which is strange, is that she had like grainy sand-like stuff in all of her clothes. My biggest back and forth on that is she's in California and she's next to a beach and she's been traveling up the coast for her whole vacation. I'd be shocked if she didn't go to a beach one time.
Yeah.
And how often do you... there was like... She was wearing like a red hoodie in it.
Yeah.
How often do you wash your hoodies? Like a zip-up
Yeah,
hoodie.
I just hang those up when I'm done wearing them. Unless I go to a bonfire and it's got that fucking stench.
Oh, true.
Then
True.
I throw it in the wash.
True. So, after telling you all these facts, I'm going to go over a few of the biggest conspiracies and my kind of back and forth on them. So a few of the conspiracies, the most popular ones anyway, that surround this case is one that she was on drugs. She was on illegal drugs and she went, like, she had a fucking whole drug-induced breakdown. So a lot of people saying that she got to LA, something happened. I know she went to a few like concert-y shows and things like that where there definitely would be drugs around. People think that she did that, couldn't handle it. And this explains like her weird behavior to the roommates. This explains the weird elevator footage of her just tripping the fuck out. However, she has no history of drug use, and people don't jump from no history of drug use to like meth. It's not, you don't jump to something that could fuck you up.
Thing, yeah.
Yeah. Like that's extremely rare for someone.
Did they do a toxicology report?
Yes, they did, and there was no illegal drugs in her system according to the toxicology and autopsy, which I have gotten my hands on and I have read through. No illegal drugs were found in her system. So, basically just completely wipes that one out.
Okay.
Second one is people think that she was being chased around by a spirit. And
I remember that was the big thing back when this was popular. I remember being so convinced that she was being chased by a spirit.
Yeah. So people think that she was being haunted from the second that she came to the hotel. This explains her talking in the elevator footage. This explains her weird behavior. This explains the weird notes that she was writing to like go away and shit like that. This would also explain the elevator staying open for so long if something else was influencing it.
Yeah.
The only ones that are back and forth with that don't make sense to me about this is one. I feel like that's not something that you keep to yourself. I feel like I understand that she's in a new city surrounded by people she doesn't know, but like in a shared room environment, if something like crazy was going on, I'd be like, "Y'all, did you see that?" And I definitely wouldn't be like, I don't know. I feel like I would say something.
Yeah.
Maybe she's shy, maybe she didn't. Fair. But the biggest thing for me is why the fuck was she at this bookstore all jolly and happy right before that? If she had been being haunted before and was being haunted after, why would she be at this bookstore like, oh, I'm just shopping for gifts. Now let me go back to my haunted ass apartment. I feel like it's like a weird disconnect of like being way too happy during that.
Yeah.
In the middle of a crazy haunting like that. So the biggest theory is that she was playing a Korean elevator game. So there's basically this game where you walk into the ground floor of a place with an elevator. You go to the floors 4, 2, 6, 2, 10, 5. Once you're at 5, a woman is supposed to walk in. You should not address her. You should not talk to her. You should press 1 again in the elevator, and if you do the game right, it should take you to floor 10 instead. It shouldn't listen to you. It should take you to floor 10, and then you should be in a new dimension. This has a lot of explanation towards the elevator video of why she was being fucking crazy, and that's another reason people think that they tampered with that footage, is because a lot of people think that they cut out floor 5 where a woman walked in. Weird, though.
That's so strange.
Why the fuck would the police why would the police
like
cut,
why if
cut
that's
out if there's a woman in here?
If that's a real thing, why would you want to hide that?
Yeah. Unless the fucking Men in Black got their hands on the footage. Like,
yeah.
I don't doesn't make sense. I am now going to discuss what I believe to have found as the truth of this story.
Okay.
Before I do that, do you have any comments? Any concerns? Any questions?
No.
So far?
No.
Okay. I'm going to go through what I believe to happen, and then I'm going to tell you why I think what evidence I have to support my theory. So, I think that she arrives to the hotel on the 28th. I think that already as of the 28th, she is severely under-medicated in a completely new and unfamiliar surrounding.
When you say unmedicated, were there was there a pre-existing diagnosis?
Yes.
Okay.
Elisa Lam was on Wellbutrin, Lamtergen, Quintiapine, Dexedrine, Warfarin, all for severe bipolar disorder. I think she's under-medicated and in a completely new surrounding. I think that she checked into this joint room, and that is the beginning of her starting to have a manic episode based on not medicating herself. I think that's why she starts acting strange to her roommates. I think that she is even going so far as to starting to have hallucinations, and that's why she's writing these notes. She is literally living in a different reality because she is so off her meds. I also think that explains a lot of her back and forth of being super crazy and then not.
Mm-hmm.
Is she's having episodes, and then she calms herself down, and then she goes back into one. I think she gets sent to a private room, and I think that is where the worst of it happens. I think that after she's in a private room, and I think this is when she learned about the history of the hotel. And now being in the middle of a manic episode, now being forced to be alone, and now knowing that so many people have died in this hotel in such a scary area, I think she freaked out. I think this is when the elevator happens, and she climbs out of one of the windows to the fire escape, goes up to the roof, and that is when she gets in the tank. The evidence I have to support this is her police report on her, what was found on her and in her room, states that she had way more medication than she should. She was not taking it 100%. The amount of pills she had were not the amount that she should have based on the issue date and her prescription amount.
Okay.
So bad as to one point where I think whatever the one that starts with an L, lamotrigine, that's my best guess of what it is, how it's pronounced, that she was issued 60 of those pills on January 1st. As of January 31st, there was 61 on her person. which means she might have been taking the last doses of the previous issue of it. But that still means then she was undermedicated then. She has a lot more than she should. The most was, I looked up all these different medications as well, and the one that she was taking most consistently was the weakest of the medicines.
Oof.
So, and this medication, like I said, was to help with severe bipolar disorder. And some of the conditions and symptoms of severe bipolar disorder is manic episodes and goes as far as hallucinations. When it's a very, very, very bad case, which her parents said that she has.
Oof, that's definitely what was happening in that elevator then.
Her family says that she also has a history of not taking her medication. It is one of the reasons they checked in with her every day. Because she doesn't like to take her medication. They were basically the force, and that's another reason they were scared to send her on this trip alone. They didn't think that she was going to medicate.
That's really sad.
Also, in the autopsy report, the drugs that they did scan for, the ones that she was prescribed to, they found and was noted in the autopsy report that she had a shockingly low amount in her system. So she was under-medicating 100%. I think that the way that she got up to the roof, the two options are that she went up a fire escape, which everybody's kind of like, but probably not. I think she did. The police dogs that they sent in on the 31st traced her all the way to a window and then lost her scent. That had a fire escape that went to the roof. The only other option is going through a door that would have set off an alarm. There are no notes of an alarm going off that day. People are always talking about how could it be possible that she gets this lid open? The lid's only 20 pounds. It's not a manhole cover. Like, it's not that insane. And it was found open. We talked about this in the last take, but it's super popular when they talk about this story that it was found closed up on top of her. It was not. It was found open on the side. That's why it is the first one that the maintenance worker went to. Her family went in an interview about this, saying and speaking on the fact that she has a history of hallucinations and was hospitalized for this in the past because she has a habit of under-medicating herself, getting to the point where she would have hallucinations.
Jesus.
And like I said, that's another reason that they were hesitant to even send her on this trip. So I believe that is what happened to her. I believe that she came into town already kind of losing it. I think that being in a new environment didn't help her. I think that learning about the history of the hotel when she was sent to her own private room was her last straw, and she just went crazy. And she was in the middle of a full-blown hallucination, did not even know what she was doing until she was already in that tank. I think that might have been her sobering moment. And my best explanation of the clothes being off is that wet clothes are heavy.
Yeah.
Survival technique, she took them off to try to float for longer. Because she couldn't get back out. And I think that she also... unfortunately, in this hallucination and in this manic state that she was in, I don't think she was cognitive enough to grab and understand that she is going to die if she does not get out. And I think that she tired herself out and got herself to a point where she had no energy and she drowned before she even came to the fact that before she even understood where she was or what she was doing. After all of the evidence that I have observed, that is my best guess on this case. And that's how I think it happened.
That's sad. I mean, regardless of what actually happened, it's still it's tragic.
It is. I think that there is definitely something to be said about the fact that we would rather believe that it's a Korean elevator game and still ponder about it than listen to the facts that it might have been someone who was just severely mentally ill.
Yeah.
And I think that it's probably going to be a lot easier for people to accept that now than in 2013. And I hope that people stop bothering her parents about this, because a lot of people still try to call and ask her if she was involved with the occult and shit like that, because they think that she was trying to summon a demon on the elevator.
Just leave them alone, man.
Literally.
They've dealt with enough.
Literally. Yeah. So that is our case of Elisa Lam. That is our breakthrough. Last week, I told you that I was going to watch that documentary and tell you if it was worth it.
Yeah.
I watched 35 minutes. There's 4 episodes. And my consensus, I watched 35 minutes across all 4 episodes.
Okay.
And my consensus is that shit could have been 1.
Right.
It is very dragged out. It's very long. It's fine. It's a fine documentary, but it's just long. And it could easily be an hour and a half.
Yeah. That, a lot of,
A quick 1 episode, hour and a half.
lots of shit. A lot of fucking shows do that now.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah. I was super excited about it because I do enjoy this case a lot. So when that was coming out, I was really excited about it. But no, it's okay. It's a good watch. If you watched it, you knew a lot of what I just said. Still very informational. It's not like it was bad. It didn't have a lot of misinformation from what I saw. Unlike the fucking other one. But
Samuel Little one?
yeah. But I'm not going to recommend it
No.
for a watch.
Probably wasn't going to watch it anyway.
I'm going to recommend the other one that we just talked about, the Don't Fuck With Cats on Netflix. That's a really good one. I like that one because the main character of that documentary is the lady that ran the group.
That found him?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Don't Fuck With Cats?
Yep.
Internet is crazy.
I know. All right. Well, that is going to be it for our case of Elisa Lam. As always, I have been Kinson.
I have been Mark.
Mm-hmm. And I will continue to be.
And I am hungry.
Same. All right, guys, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. We will see you next week on Discord. Everybody, we will see you there. Correct. Great. So, like we said, little 5 smackaroos a month. Going to get you in the exclusive club, man. It's going to get you in the graveyard. Come join us. It's going to be a really fun one. We're really, really, really excited to do that one. We're going to do it for us in about an hour.
Yeah.
So, guys, we'll see you there. Thanks for watching as always. And see you.
Peace.
Thank you for watching or listening to this episode of Creep It 100. If you liked this week's episode, please feel free to rate, review, like, and subscribe to our show. These actions help the show get discovered, and they let us know how you feel. You may even get a special shout out on an upcoming episode. For the most up-to-date information, visit our website at creepit100pod.com, where you can sign up for our newsletter, play back any of our previous episodes, check out our community events calendar, and more. You can also follow us on our social media pages, including TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at creepit100pod. We also want to say thank you so much to all of our donors and sponsors who helped make this season possible. Because of your contributions, we were able to improve the production value of our show by purchasing new equipment. Your donations also let us continue with our production. And for that, we're extremely grateful. If you are looking for even more creepy content, including behind-the-scenes footage, bonus episodes, and live recording sessions, you can join our premium Discord server. For as low as $5 a month, you can unlock exclusives you won't be able to find anywhere else and support the show while doing so. Check out our membership tiers and benefits at creepit100pod.com/discord. Join us every Monday for new episodes, and don't forget to creep it 100.